Everybody, before we begin, just so you know, the developer provided me with a key for this game to give you my honest opinion about the game. These are my first impressions. Killnight got my attention the moment I saw the screenshot and the gameplay trailer. I knew how to play this game. Developed by PlaySide, coming October 2nd, 2024. This game is a top-down shooter, bullet hell, a very challenging one. And one of the reasons for that it took me some time to get into it is because it has many different mechanics, which I highly recommend if you get a game to first try the tutorial to learn all the different mechanics. Now, in order to do well, you need to learn the mechanics because it gives you heavy ammo that you can use really powerful shots. It also allows you to do certain attacks that really wipes enemies out, but also give you drops for health. You also have your dash in order to avoid getting hit, as you can see here. Pistols are basically the main weapon that you use by default, and you can just continue in shooting like regular bullet hell. Hold the right trigger button and you will shoot the pistols. However, when you're out of bullets, you can actually see a bar, and if you time it at the right time, you can see it in the middle of the screen in a moment. When I'm out of bullets, if you press the right trigger at the right time, you'd be able to get to overdrive, which is you shoot faster and deal more damage. Kind of more powerful mode for the gun. This is actually the sword. I need to use it more, and the reason for that, of course, for getting bullets. And you also had the really powerful sword surge, which I haven't used a lot. I'm going to use it. So basically, you can use the sword, and you see those shards. You can actually collect them. This will be used, by the way, later on for a very powerful attack. But you can actually see the charge. It actually focuses in green, where you can actually see the charge itself. It takes a bit of time until you get a full charge, but once you get it, it's a very, very powerful one, especially when there are many enemies to eliminate them all. I think I had it many times, I just forgot about it because there's so many mechanics here. The heavy weapon is basically kind of like a shotgun that deals massive damage. Also, there's a kill streak, what's called here kill stream, which basically increases your higher score. It's a global leaderboard, as I mentioned. Now, the red gems that fall from enemies increase your movement speed and also pistol damage. You need to pick them up. And you can even collect them all if you use, I think this is the left button. You're going to collect them from far. So there's also the Wraith Burst, which is very, very powerful. I use it all the time. And basically you need to limit enemies, collect the blood gems, called red gems, blood gems. And then you're going to see the bar is going to charge. And once it reaches max, it's kind of an ultimate ability, basically. So you can see it here. You hold and release in a straight line. This big ball deals massive damage. And you can see this green one, if you collect them, they're going to heal you. Now, there's also ability to parry attacks, and with the right timing, it's very, very powerful because you can slow down time for quite a long duration. When you see this raid attack from powerful enemies, if you hold it, you can evade damage. But if you hold it, hold the X button, it's just going to create this and slow down time. Very, very powerful if you take use of that. Not easy to do though. Other options are Absorb Trigger and the Soul Trigger. Basically, the Soul Trigger can be very powerful because it does very forward slash attack that can deal massive damage to enemies. In kind of a big arc. Yeah, basically various mechanics here, as you can see, that all of them, if you take advantage of them, this allows you to be very, very powerful, and they are crucial in order to survive. Now, there are various levels and with various difficulties. For example, the Solitude is the first one. And if you do certain objectives, you're going to unlock different items. We can switch and create basically a build that you want to go into the level with. So it's not like getting the better one, just different ones, and then you need to choose which one is best for your playstyle and for the particular level. You can actually see here the objectives for each one, so pay attention to that as well. So that was my first one. Basically, I had no idea what I was doing, but it took me only like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to really get into it. Now, I do recommend going with easiest difficulty once you get comfortable with the mechanics. And of course, it allows you to get different unlocks because you can focus on objectives first to get your character more powerful, and then you can challenge yourself. Even then, even the easiest difficulty is still challenging until you really get used to the controls. Now, how much time it takes you to finish the level, well, depends on if you use your abilities well. It can take you several minutes, but the thing is, again, if you use your abilities well and you clear things that fast, it's just gonna be faster, basically. Now, after you finish a level, you're going to see your rank, you're going to see your score, of course, difficulty bonus and stuff. You're going to get, of course, more score the higher you go with the difficulty, but again, I recommend starting with the easiest one until you get used to the mechanics. You can also save your equipment that you use. You can switch, by the way, between the two. It's not like you are progressing and going to the best one. You can choose between various ones to create a powerful build that may be better fit your playstyle and the level. Now, of course, as you progress through other levels, you're going to see different mechanics introduced. It's going to be a bit more chaotic. I need to get used to certain mechanics. For example, in the second level, you have this pillar that if you shoot it, it explodes. And of course, you shouldn't be near it, but you can actually make sure enemies come close to it, and then you can trigger it yourself and maybe dash out, and then you can eliminate a bunch of enemies very fast altogether. Yeah, so overall I'm literally having a blast. It took me some time to get into it, but not too much. So if you kind of feel frustrated a bit from the first level, don't be. Give it a bit more time, 10-15 minutes, maybe more for some, and you're gonna see you get used to it with the mechanics. It'll be much easier as you play, because really it's really important to do, to learn the mechanics in order to do well in this game. The thing that I like the most about this game, first of all, the art style, which I really adore, but the different mechanics, it's a bit more complicated than your casual, let's say, hack and slash, or, you know, when you advise 1, 2, 3 mechanics and that's about it. Here you really control them well, pay attention to things, time things well in order to do well, and decide which one you want to use, choose the right build again for the levels. Yeah, just have a good overview of what's going on the screen. Altogether, if you do well, you will succeed. Thanks for watching.